How did the whole team come along for the cloud journey, if you will?
Great question. And actually, I reached out to Todd and he became a key part of that upskilling and moving forward. What we did was our team had come along and really gotten into their tools for the cybersecurity side and the IT side. There are quite a few tools to use. My team is only about 10 in size, and that's on the larger side. So what we did was we said, okay, we've got to sort of organize and pivot. So the way I do it is I bring together my team and say, we're going to do a workshop. And we build a messaging campaign within the team and say, hey, that thing you saw, how would that look different in the cloud? The thing that would happen, or the pop up, or the malicious thing that we stopped, or the fish, how would that change if we got into the cloud? So it's just opening up the dialogue and getting people to think a little different. Then we have a workshop focused on the threat of the cloud. Like, so we're going into the cloud. What are the threats? How bad is that space being pillaged and pwned every day? And then reminding them the tools that Todd was just speaking to. A lot of the tools that CrowdStrike has are mapped to the MITRE framework. So we can take that MITRE framework and say, yeah, you're doing on-prem, but taking that same framework into the cloud, that all applies here as well. So it's not a heavy lift. It's a slight reorientation for them, but there are new skills, new terminology, new ways of doing incident response that we won't have in the future that we need to think about going forward. So that workshop was really focused on threat intel. What are the threats? How are people owning it? That identity piece is even more critical as you get into the cloud, because that's the key, that's the front door key and deadbolt lock to let anyone into your environment. So that identity piece in CrowdStrike really helps us know that when those credentials show up on the dark web, which is what Todd was just speaking to, is that almost immediately it's going to make them change their password if their accounts show up out there.